Hello people, and welcome to Crypto Exposed. Ripple exec David Schwartz comments on XRP reaching $50 to $100. Okay guys, let's get into it. Okay, so this has definitely stirred up a bit of controversy, so I wanted to touch on this, and I just want to give my thoughts about it because, a lot of people are angry about this, but I think first and foremost, you need to understand the full context of what he's saying. But also, this is stuff that I've been saying on my channel for so long as well. So let's get into it then. So I'm just going to get straight to the actual tweet here. So we've got a guy who's called Ripple is good, XRP is, let's just say, bad, right? And he says, David, please say to your XRP supporters that the price of XRP can't and won't go to $50 to $100. Do that because of your pure conscience. So many people get poor with investing in XRP. So I'm not sure if they're foreign because the English isn't great, but you get the gist of what he's saying there. So David Schwartz actually responded. He said, I don't feel comfortable saying something like that. While I don't think it's likely, I didn't think it was likely that XRP would ever hit 25 cents. I started selling XRP at 10 cents because it seemed insane. I remember when Bitcoin hitting $100 seemed like an impossible dream. Okay, so what I've always told you guys about David Schwartz, first and foremost, he's very honest, and that's why I really like David Schwartz. To me, honesty is the best policy. I respect people like this. He's not trying to sell you a pipe dream. He's giving you his honest thoughts. So I respect that first and foremost. So, okay, let's get into this then. I've said to you guys before in the past that XRP could hit $50 to $100. That is possible. Now, I've never said it will happen, but I've said it's possible, right? So to hear David Schwartz say he doesn't think it's likely, even for me, I will say that's surprising. I am going to say that's surprising. Not because I've told you guys that it will happen, because I don't know. Like I've always said, I don't know. But what I've said is it's possible. But I think David Schwartz is basically saying exactly what I said here. He's saying, look, I might not think it's likely, but I'm not going to say it's impossible. It is possible. And he's saying, look at things like Bitcoin. People didn't think it was possible for Bitcoin to get where it was, but look where it is now. Now, don't get me wrong. I just want to make this clear. We're talking about $50 to $100 here. So let's not take that whole speculation to the $10,000 theory, because that's a whole different thing. We're talking about double digits and triple digits here. That's a completely different story. So, for me, the thing that I will say is here, he's not exactly saying that it's not possible for XRP to hit $50 to $100. He's just saying, yeah, maybe it's not likely. Like, it may not feel likely to me, but I can't rule that out. And yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true. So at the end of the day, no matter how likely or unlikely you think something is, you can't 100% rule something out definitively. You can't. So, and I say this like with XRP going down to, let's just say, 50 cents again. Like, while I don't think that's likely, I can't say definitively it won't happen. So he's being very honest there, because that is just the truth of the matter. But let's get into him saying that he don't think it's likely. So, as I said before, like, for me, I've always thought that, triple digits is more one of these things of, it's possible. I don't know if it will happen, but it's possible. And the thing is, if it is possible, if it does happen, I don't know how long it could take, right? Like, I couldn't say like, hey, by next year, we're going to have $100 XRP, that kind of thing. It could be that, it could take, let's just say, 10 years, 20 years for it to get to $100, for example, right? So it's like, depending on your time frame on how you think about this, right? So him saying that he doesn't think it's likely. My thing is this. In terms of $50, I would think that's obviously more likely than $100. I think that's a lot more realistic. I mean, some people have said it could get to $50, for this bull run, if we are still in a bull run. Now, I don't know what's going to happen in that regard. I can say that it's plausible, but do I think it's likely? I don't know. Like, I really don't know. For me, I've been a lot more conservative personally with my expectations, but I have said it is possible. Now, David Schwartz saying he doesn't think it's likely. I mean, David Schwartz is a genius. He's a literal genius. So if he's saying he doesn't, think it's likely, then yeah, maybe it's not likely then, who knows, right? But this is what I said to you in my video before when I was talking about Jake Claver. No one can give you a definitive price prediction. And this is what I've been telling you guys. you need to move away from the price prediction stuff, because even David Schwartz here saying to you, look, I don't think it's likely, but I can't say for sure. He can't. Nobody can. Nobody can tell you what's going to happen. So even David Schwartz could be surprised here if XRP was to go to like $50 this bull run. That could happen. And that's why he's saying, I can't rule it out, but he's saying he doesn't feel it's likely. I think it's fair. I actually think it's completely fair. And this is the thing for me. For the people who are up in arms about this and, getting angry, look, you've got someone here just giving you a complete reality check. He's just giving you the honest truth. So if you guys want to be angry about that, then it's almost like you want to be lied to. Do you see what I mean? And that's why I say the whole thing about the whole $10,000 stuff. Like it's like people will fight tooth and nail against this stuff, even though we can give you a lot of facts and data as to why this isn't really likely or plausible, right? And so for the people who've got angry, I can understand you may be feeling a bit deflated because you're thinking, oh, well, I was expecting it to go even higher than that, or I was expecting it to go to like $100 or whatever. But it's like, would you not rather someone just give you the truth? Because that's the way I look at this. Like, even if I look at this and say, oh, wow, like he's actually saying he don't think it's likely to hit $50. First and foremost, I'll say, well, he's not the person who can say 100% what's going to happen. That's the first thing I would say. Not even David Schwartz can do that. But the second thing I would say is, hey, you know what? I respect it. I'm glad he said that, because now maybe I can look at my expectations of XRP and think, okay, maybe $50 to $100 is a bit maybe unrealistic. Maybe I need to be a bit more grounded even in that regard. See, I just appreciate the truth. And that's what my channel's about. Like, I'm not here to try and sugarcoat it and just try and do things for views. You've got all these people telling you this stuff for views. I'm here to just give you the truth. These are the facts. This is what David Schwartz is saying. This is coming out of his mouth, right? So for me, I'm really not bothered by this at all. I respect his opinion, and I actually acknowledge that, maybe you could be right, maybe you could be wrong. But I just respect the fact that he's being honest about it. Like, the fact that he's the creator of XRP and he's not here just saying, oh yeah, of course, $50 to $100, it's definitely going to happen. Yeah, like, I respect that he's not just saying that. I respect that he's not just giving you guys the hype and the fluff. He's just being honest with you guys. So to me, and I've said this before, like, this is where you can separate the people who just want to be like the moon boys and believe in the whole, pie in the sky theories, or the people who just want to acknowledge reality. I want to acknowledge reality. So I look at this and it doesn't faze me one bit. I just look at it and say, oh, okay, fair enough. Even if I was thinking XRP could get to $50 this cycle, right? For example, let's say I believe that. If then I saw this from David Schwartz, I would still acknowledge that he could be wrong, because he could, but I would still say, okay, fair enough. Like, great. Like, he's told me this. That's made me look at it now in a bit of a different way. So maybe I need to think from that perspective more. That's it. Like, I just respect the fact he was honest, because he's got no reason to say this to you to be negative, right? Because this could make a lot of people sell XRP. They could think, oh, well, if it's not even going to go to like $50, then why am I even bothering investing in XRP? Like, this could put people off. It's very possible. Like, there's been a lot of people upset with this. But for me, like, yeah, like, as someone who's just like a truth seeker, I respect it. I think I value his opinion, and I think it's great that he's just been honest. So, like, as I say, it comes down to how you feel about this stuff as to how you take it. But in all honesty, like, I just think there's no reason to be angry about this. Like, he's just giving you the truth. And if you want to be annoyed at someone giving you the truth, which, don't get me wrong, my channel is a prime example of that. I mean, if you look at my videos where I've covered like $10,000 and stuff debunking it, the amount of like, attacks I get in the comments and stuff, and when I, call out influencers for being, giving misinformation and stuff, like, the amount of visceral attacks I get, it's crazy. But this is the thing, and I've said this before, and I'll keep saying it to you guys. The truth about XRP is a lot more boring than all the fantasy stuff that people tell you. It's not this fairy tale of all these banks waiting to use XRP. It's not all that stuff that's going on behind the scenes. It's a good cryptocurrency. But it's not this magical fairy tale currency where you can buy one XRP and you're going to become a multimillionaire. Like, these influencers saying things like that, I just think it's absolutely insane. Like, I think it's crazy that people are just spreading that kind of stuff. Like, it's such a shame. But there are people out there who, they don't care. Like, people are con artists. Some people don't care. They will make their money happily And don't get me wrong, some people might really just believe this stuff, tinfoil hat, that kind of thing. They might just really believe what they're saying, but some people don't care and they're just doing it for the money. That's all it is. So, look, in my opinion, if I, review this personally, I'll just say this. Will XRP hit $50 to $100? I don't know. Is it possible? Yes. And that's why David Schwartz saying, he doesn't feel comfortable saying it won't, because you never know. Even he's saying here, it's possible. You never know. It's possible. But if you look at this, we're talking about $50 to $100 here. We're not talking $10,000. So if he's saying this, that he doesn't feel it's likely for $50 to $100, I think you know the answer what he's going to say to you about $10,000, right? I think the answer is pretty clear on that. So once again, here's me just trying to show you guys the $10,000 stuff. Need to move away from that. Not realistic. He's there telling you this stuff. It's right there if you want to acknowledge it. You've just got to be open-minded, guys. Like, the truth is right there in front of you. You've just got to be willing to accept it. So, yeah, overall, I respect David Schwartz for this. I see nothing wrong with him giving his opinion and perspective. And again, he could be wrong. Just remember that. He could be wrong. It could be that XRP hits $50 in the next bull run. You just never know. That is possible. But he could be right. It could be that it's not likely. Maybe XRP gets to like $10 in the next cycle and it never gets to $50, or maybe it gets to $75 but not $100. Who knows? Nobody knows for sure. But that's why I say to you guys, keep away from the price predictions. What you really want is the data, and people like David Schwartz, who's giving you honest, actual opinions and perspectives as someone who created XRP. Like, that's what you want. So I'll leave it there, but I hope this has helped. Thank you very much for watching this. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And hit that bell. Take care.